if you wanted to be all like, I want to get golden cards in Hearthstone.
Then it'd be amazing.
Anything is possible. If you chant, if you believe.
Here we go.
Doctor Strange. Some say dry while others feel the pain. Doctor Strange.
Oh, let's kick off this rocket ship to Extravaganza Island. Because rockets are the only way to get to islands. Everybody knows that because it's Tuesday night live, which means we're Snorks. Hey, beautiful people. I'm Brian Rushman, live in Austin, Texas, joined as always by my inimitable co-host, my better half, my brother, biologically. I've had my DNA altered. It's Justin Robert Young. What's going on, buddy?
Holy crap, Brian. This is, can we go back to that snork shot?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Because
I can never
it
keep
looks
track.
really great. You look amazing. You look like you should be the best friend in every wedding comedy ever. The guy that really knows what's going on and is like lecherously sleeping with the bridesmaids while telling
I'm
the
the
groom,
one-
like,
I'm-
why are you giving up such a great deal, man?
I'm the one who wants to keep our hookups on the down low. I'm the respectable mayoral candidate, which is why I'm at. In fact, I just won the Snork election for best mayor Snork.
And I am a poorly thought out reboot of the Ernest franchise.
Hey Brian, I was thinking I was hanging out on the boondocks over by the air. Sometimes I go fishing for birds and getting birds. I was thinking, why don't you put your snork right in my snork?
Hey, Vern. Know what I mean, Vern? Dude, this is going to be a really crazy episode. We got all sorts of stuff happening. We've got guests, we've got announcements. We have a bit in which we're going to find out who where is the most crazy neighborhood on the planet.
Specifically, we're crowning the best worst neighborhood, right?
We are.
We are electing the best worst neighborhood.
But first, let's get into the announcements. Something that has never happened before is going to happen in the next few weeks, and we would love for all of you to be a part of it. Brian, we have done live shows, but we have never really done a independent without the safety net of a conference or a convention live show.
Yeah, so
Ever.
Well, okay, yeah, we've done Night Attack live, but it's always been in a protected environment. We've never gone out into the wild, right? We're like a young and supple fawn nestled close to its mother's titties. And then we get out, and then we go to a place.
That's how I would explain it, too. I'm glad that you said the obvious.
And so we've done Dragon Con, we've done South Bay, and Dragon Con is like the most protected. Like we don't even leave our hotel. We're in our cocoon. We're nestled next to mommy, and then we get our folks. And then South by Southwest, a little more out there. It's
Well, it's a big thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're not officially programming like we are at Dragon Con.
But it's during the one wacky time of year when literally anyone who's of all the population in Austin, there's never going to be a greater density of folks who know us. So now we're really stepping out.
Yeah.
And we're doing an independent live show in a place where we expect not a single person has ever heard of podcasting. Nobody's hip to your apps, to your Googles, nobody's heard of your podcast awards. I think I think we agree that we're truly pioneers by having our first live independent stage show in San Francisco.
Indeed, and that's where it will be at Piano Fight. That is 144 Taylor Street on Saturday, May 7th, 2016. We had such a good time doing an afternoon show that we're going to do that again. We really kind of like that vibe of everybody kind of showing up, making a day of it. We're going to rock and roll for about 3 hours total, starting at 4:30 in San Francisco on May 7th. Man, how you feeling?
I am stupidly excited about this because this venue actually is really plugged in. They're the ones who put together the Eventbrite. You can already reserve your spot if you go to just go to Eventbrite and search for Night Attack.
We got bit.ly/sflive16.
Oh yeah, SF Live 16 will take you there, and then you can get your reservation. We've already had a bunch of our friends show up, and I think San Francisco is a good spot to start our world tour, right?
Well, so secretly behind the scenes, when we decided to make the South by Southwest show a live show and not necessarily a concert like we've done in the past, Brian and I kind of talked like, all right, this will be the soft run of like, how does this feel? Do we like it? Do people show up? That went well enough. So now this is step 2. This is beyond another thing, beyond another element that is bringing people into one place. We're going to see how this goes. But if this goes well, it's kind of hard for us to not say, hey, let's do one on the East Coast. Hey, let's do one in the Midwest. Hey, let's do one multiple times, even as soon as this summer. So this has been fun to put together. And I can sweeten the pot here right now.
Uh-oh. Drama.
It's not drama.
No, yeah, this is drama. You go sweeten the pot. I thought that pot
it's
was
not like
farm
drama.
fresh.
Like, and our guest Adolf Hitler. Like, it's not dramatic. It's
Well,
just
no,
exciting.
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna sweeten the pot. We're having a big announcement. This is everybody's on their edge of their seats.
It's already a sweet pot. It's got sweet potness to it.
So all right, sweeten the pot. What is it?
Tom Merritt is also going to join us on stage.
Now, wait a minute. Tom Merritt, he's all the way down in Los Angeles. Why would he be up in San Francisco?
Tom Merritt's going to make his way up from Los Angeles. Now, the way that Tom Merritt wound up becoming part of this show is very funny because Tom says, hey, man, I'm going to come to your show. And I'm like, cool. So you're going to be on it. And he's like, I'd never ask that. And I'm like, well, it's going to be awkward if you're just sitting in the seats. Like, you're going to have to be on stage.
It's like he shows up. He's got his night attack pennant. He's got the I came from Los Angeles sweatshirt on. he's like the grandma at Price is Right. He shows up in his service uniform. Like, I don't know. I hope they pick me. I'm only a college student serving in the active military and grandmother of 5.
And that's exciting. Brian, that's exciting. If you weren't set to come to the show, that might put you over the edge, right?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to keep edging? Because I already came.
No. You better work it back up.
Sorry, hold on. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
You better run that flag back up the pole.
Stick with it.
Is
I
not
got it.
done.
All right. It never happened. I'm ready.
We're going to have a musical guest.
I'm glad you said guest because for a split second I thought you were like, we're going to have a musical. I was like, wow, that's not what we discussed at all. But I mean, I'm down for it, like a rock opera.
I mean, listen, I'm sure our musical guests would be down to help put this together if we wanted to make it a musical. And we are at a theater venue. This is the theater district for San Francisco. This is an alternative theater company. And I could think of no one better to do a live show with us. First time that this guest will have ever done a live show with us. The incomparable Ali Spagnola.
Oh,
live
Ali
and in
Spagnola.
person.
And this ain't we're not making her hustle doing her day job gig of doing the power hour or anything. Like, she's going to do a full-on set. We're talking to her about hanging out on stage, being our house band the way the Possum Posse was. It's going to be great. I'm super
Listen,
stoked
it's going to be fun. Also, Ali Spagnola is going to be there, which means, and we've yet to finalize the negotiation, Ali Spagnola's abs are also likely to make an appearance. Like those abs dominating Snapchat and Instagram as we speak could be, I mean, like, Jesus Christ.
You know, they get their own trailer when she goes on the road. It's really, they're really prima donnas.
I heard that they were insured by Lloyd's of London for $1 million.
You know, they held auditions for a 7th ab once. Drake wanted to be the 7th ab. He didn't make it. It didn't work out.
He
couldn't do it.
And
he
they're
couldn't
like,
hang
hey,
with
listen,
the other 6.
maybe later, but not right now. The world we live in, I guess. So there we go. Here it is, May 7th. Piano Fight, San Francisco. Starts at 4:30. Make a day of it. That is 144 Taylor Street. Get your tickets. They are free, by the way. You just give the venue a good idea on exactly how many people they can expect. bit.ly/SFLive16. It is an all-ages venue. This is the first time that we've ever done a show at an all-ages venue.
Finally, if you want to hear your kids come and listen to us talk about jerking off, about punching old ladies, ask really why incest is a crime.
Exactly.
Then this is your opportunity.
By the way, all right, real quick, I'm going to get back to this plug. I came up with a song. Do you want to hear this song I came up with?
Yeah, all right, let's hear.
There's going to be like claps. Like a clap beat, right?
Okay.
And then it's like, yeah, your pussy's deep as it is wide. You got a fully symmetrical pussy inside.
It's parabolic. I'm saying that. Not hyperbolic. And that's a fact.
So that's all I have. Anyway, the Night Attack live show will be May 7th. May 7th in San Francisco. Piano fight. Go to
Man, the kids are gonna love that one, though.
Live 16. I would like, if you are excited about coming out and you are excited about having Tom and Allie at the show, then go ahead and tweet them right now at Ace Detect, at Allie Spagnola, and let them know how excited you are.
Man.
All ages show. Again, an all ages show. Curtis LaRock wants to know what was the context for that. I mean, I had a song. I set it up. I set it up that I had a song.
Look, we're not about suppressing the artistic instinct here, man. When a song arrives in your heart, you give it straight accent. You hand it a microphone to say, talk out the mouth. It's great. And you're like, yeah, but the mouth is in the middle of a show. It's like, just go. And the song starts singing about a parabolic pussy. It's amazing.
All ages, baby. All ages can do that. We're no longer restricting it to over a certain age. Now all ages. 2 years old. My nephew is days old. He can come to this show because it's all ages. All right. That's that, man. What else is going on? What else are we gonna talk about?
Man, I don't know. I got a detective.
You're a
case.
detective? I've heard you're a gumshoe now.
You're on the case?
I followed the clues, Gumshoes.
Did you?
I'm going to try to talk in circles, so I'm not outing anyone specifically, but one half of us is...
But let's say somebody that you're related to by marriage.
No. You just got the arched eyebrow from Bonnie. No, there's as happens, right? You run across people on the internet, and some of them just love goats, and they want to get your goats. They're like, I ain't got no goat. I'm gonna get your goat. Yeah. And so they just needle.
Gotta catch 'em all, random people's goats.
You start sniping all over the place, and some people are just weird, like you know I'm very, very friendly on Twitter, trying to follow a lot of people. I'm on a hunt for latent fans, and some people think there's a secret agenda, or I'm trying to trick you or something. And the defense is I just very honestly tell them what I'm up to, and it's like, no, it's this person was a likely fan, so I followed them. Clearly, it made their day, and now we're talking. And then they keep needling. So there's one person who just is once a day. You could tell whoever this person is checks their tweets and be like, oh, it's time to poke Brian with a stick. And
wait, once a day.
Well, you could tell it's like, yeah, once a day. But then the person deletes all their tweets, right? So they're like needle. And then I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm not sure what this is all about. And then it's like, I look the next day and they're like, what about this? And I was like, wait, what was this about again? So I go to look, and all the previous tweets have been deleted. So I'm like, man, I don't even know what this is about. I don't even remember this anymore.
All right? Now, Brian, I know you want to, for whatever reason, not use your power of authority to take a poop on somebody smaller than you, but I'm going to need a little bit more context. What is he yelling at you about?
Well, here's the funny part. At this point, I don't even remember. It's been like 3 or 4 goddamn weeks, and I try to go back and find out what's going on. So it's like, when I look at the history of this, all I see is my reasoned, patient, if slightly exasperated responses to whatever the crap they were saying before, right? And then finally, like, today's needle jab was like, oh, well, if you're somebody who, quote, has never heard of a like button, then why do you use yours as you have multiple times? What are you, just keeping bookmarks? And I'm like, I have literally no idea what you're talking about, right?
Are you just getting gaslit? Like, is this like an elaborate thing to
Hold on.
like just gaslight you to the
not-
point where you
now-
talk about it on the show?
now, here's
Like,
the
is
issue.
somewhere
He only has 33 likes.
Yeah, and it's like random, and half of them are mistakes. Like I don't know why I liked your mug of bacon thing. I think at various times I've remembered that some
You like
people
yourself?
traffic. Wow.
I liked myself. See, I think some people like enjoy getting like so and so liked your comment. I'm like, oh, let me make their day. I should like everyone's comment. That's another thing I should do. That'll just annoy Mystery Person even more. But Mystery Person, their avatar is a hand drawn cartoon related to some Cartoon Network show. That the only two tweets they keep are pen on paper drawings of Cartoon Network things. Everything else they delete. So then I say, like, when did I ever say I've never heard of a like button? And then you know, boom, it shows again the next day because it's been the whole next day.
By the way, I feel like this is very similar to like police detectives dealing with abusive relationships, right? Where like at some point you just get, it's like, well, anyway, I told her to go to the store, but she said, no, I'm not going to go to the store because what you don't know is that the store I asked her to go to was 2 blocks away where there's only one that's 1 block away. So I knew that she was saying, like, there's a lot of very intricate detail that is going into this story that is kind of hard to follow.
So then the response comes, and it's a link to me replying someone saying, no, I've never heard of this before in my entire life. Please tell me more. And I look at that, and I'm like, I think I remember what that was about, but I'm not sure. Let me see.
It's also not at the person you're talking about.
Well, yes, it's an reply I gave to a random person 4 months ago in January. And I go to it, and I go to see what it was in response to. That tweet is deleted. And then body just gasps. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. How does this person know? Because then I'm like half remembering, like, oh, that's right. Somebody said it's called a like button, and I sarcastically said, oh, I've never heard of that before. Please tell me more. And now it's like, if the tweet's deleted, how did this person know? And then I go and I'm like, well, what's this person like? And I go, and the entire feed is hand-drawn drawings of Cartoon Network characters. I solved the case.
I don't know what you solved.
I solved it. It's the same person. Same person.
You ever seen that Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where Charlie is in the
It's gone
mailroom?
straight to the mayor. The mayor of the internets.
Like, what was the name? What's the name that he keeps saying? I just keep seeing this
Pepe
name.
Sylvia.
Pepe Silva. Pepe Silva. Pepe Silva. Everywhere. It all ties back to Pepe Silva. All I have to say to you, Brian, is yes, these are all people's mail, and they are really upset that they haven't been getting them.
The mayor, M-A-R-E.
So wait, so you found out that it's the same person?
I mean, I assume so. It's if you look at the art style. See, here's the other thing: is he's the one attacking me like I'm up to some scheme. Now I'm gonna judo this whole thing. Now
And
I'm
you're
accusing
actually
him
going to
of
scheme
running some
against him.
gaslight operation. Now he's on defense. He can't keep up. It's like, whoa, what? What? I'm being accused of having multiple accounts. It's not weird that I delete all my tweets. It's weird that you follow so many people. Ha ha!
I hope somebody's putting together a YouTube video of how to scam the creator of Scam School.
No.
At this point, Brian, I know that we have an enduring friendship that can outlast this, but I'm kind of rooting for the guy.
Okay,
I'm rooting for the guy.
This guy's needling me every day with nonsense, wasting my time with nonsense.
All right. Well, listen,
Okay,
maybe
I mean,
I'd have
let me
more
put it this
sympathy
way.
for you after I continue my hand-drawn cartoon.
I mean, here's the thing: is for a week straight, every day, I get it. I'm like, I should just block. I should just
You just
block.
need to block them.
I don't like to block people though. I think that's.
But this is maybe the exception.
Okay, number one,
for your
this has
health.
driven you so crazy. And you get into social media stuff, right? Like you
sure.
you reply to YouTube comments, you've responded to people on Twitter, you work very, very hard. I have often had to receive calls from you where you were deliberating how exactly the best way to deal with a specific Twitter person thing is, right? But it has never bled into the show like this. Like, this is an unprecedented level of goat getting. If you started this week with 4 goats, you now have 0 goats. You are goatless. Like, he's gotten all of them.
Well, and granted, this happened 20 minutes before I walked into the room, so it's a little fresh on my mind. Trust me, there's way more.
Listen, then you're saying, hey, listen, I got a new goat shipment coming in 5 minutes. That's fine. But as we speak right now, you got 0 goats, son. You are 0 for goat.
Yeah.
I think we should come up. All right, let's just solve this.
But Bonnie's
this.
over there talking, not on a microphone, asking for attention. But I don't. What was it?
You can relay for me. Just that I imagine this guy.
She imagines this guy before he goes to bed.
Right before he goes to bed.
Dude, okay. Bonnie did an impression of this guy every night before bed. Imagine a little Game Boy in your hand, fit thumbs going do 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 do, and then picture a little and then putting angelically going to sleep.
I don't know why he's a cat. Brian, listen. There's only one way that we can put a stop to this.
What?
I need you to go to your Twitter right now.
Okay. All right. I'm
I
going
just
there
need
right
you
now.
to let him know that you are, or her know that you are not afraid of them by typing out in all caps, "I'm not afraid of you. There's nothing you can do to hurt me."
Okay, in an alternate universe where I didn't have 3 daughters,
you're
I
not
would
going to tag them. You're just going to say it to everybody that follows you.
Okay, all right. Oh Jesus, I'm really uncomfortable with this. That seems like I'm getting the veto from the Bondon.
Then we can moderate it. We can moderate it. Maybe something coded.
My favorite line from that movie.
I'm not afraid of you. There's nothing you can do to hurt me. Starring
line from
Selena Gomez.
My favorite Selena Gomez line is.
Brant suggests post it and then delete it like that guy.
But leave a hand on.
I'm not
cartoon.
afraid of you. You can't hurt me.
This tweet sounds like a reject from the Taken movie. I'm not afraid of you. You won't scare me.
I didn't see the Taken movie.
Wait, have you seen the Taken movie, Bryce?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Because I don't
Liam
remember a
Neeson?
part of the Taken movie where Liam Neeson famously, in his amazing reserve, just growls into the phone, "I'm not afraid of you. You can't hurt me."
So I
Wait
said
a minute.
reject.
Wait, whoever it is just tweeted at me 28 seconds ago. It says, "This isn't over, Brushworth. I shall return." Kicks you in the gut.
They're watching! They're watching! And you've stood up for yourself!
He's inside the
Play
chat!
the fight song! Play the "This is my fight" song! Brian, beat the Twitter troll!
Oh,
The
man.
tweets are coming from inside the chat.
I think it might just be coincidence, though, because it's a reply to my previous tweet.
By the way, Gambling Man just yelling in all caps, "Slit his throat!" Gatewag positing that it is not my ghost dad that is bothering you, but your own nemesis, Goat Dad.
Hey, man, if you guys like inappropriate levels of intimacy with Justin and I, you can get that not only every week by listening to the show, but you can also listen to the pre-show, the post-show, the after-show, the between-show, and now introducing the show within a show. It's a 30-second version of Night Attack that we do every time we do a Patreon plug. And it begins now. Hey, Justin.
What's up?
Night Attack, right?
Yeah. Get it.
Well, I think we learned a lot this episode.
Hey, listen. Here's a fact. The only way that we can afford to go around the country and do shows, like, I don't know if y'all notice this, but this live show we're doing, it ain't a $20 ticket. Ain't a $15 ticket. Ain't a $10 ticket. Ain't a $5 ticket. Ain't a 5-cent ticket. It is a free show. And the only way that we can continue to do that, and even do anything like break even, like even if we charge $5 or $10, $20, like in the future, is if you guys support us. I mean, the reason why we can do these experiments and see what the audience is because you guys support us. Patreon.com/Night Attack. It is, beyond important and helpful, and we love all of you who help us.
Dude, high fives. You guys are subsidizing an important... you're like the government when they paid people not to make corn. You're paying us to not have real jobs, and we sure do appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, #awkward alert. Mitsula, who in general is just full of nothing but greatness, delivers a fistful of awkward to the show in the chat room by, instead of tagging Ali Spagnola, tags instead our good friend Ali Gertz, whose song we played at the beginning, as saying, "I'm looking forward to Ali Gertz at the San Francisco show."
And what's Ali Gertz saying about that?
I'm looking forward to being on the show.
Double complete alley.
Maybe have an ab off.
An ab off.
And now it's become a thing that's beyond our control. Now Tom's like, "Oh, I want to meet Ali."
She says, when is it? If it's a weekend, I'll come up to shake Tom's hand.
Oh, God. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
So I don't know. Whatever. We might. We'll figure this out later. Mitsula, come on. Like we're trying to do a show here.
Patreon.com/Night Attack is where you could go to join the demon hordes of the internet and help support the show. We're just shy of 90 and just shy of 100-something patrons away from being at 1776, which would be awesome because we...
Dude, 1776 before July 4th would be amazing.
It's a pretty good drive. We can make this happen.
We
But only...
can make this happen. We're gonna go above and beyond. We're gonna go ham.
We're
By the way, you didn't know Brian didn't know what ham was earlier this week.
which time? I mean, I know the actual substance ham.
No, I mentioned we can go ham on that.
And like ham nation, ham radio.
Yeah, ham radio.
Yeah.
Thin sliced, water cured.
Ham, oh my scammy flammy hammy. Isn't that what the grandparents used to say? No?
Mine. I mean, my grandfather said that killing Hitler.
All right. I certainly haven't forgotten what ham is since you told me. But for all the other people who maybe never heard it, what is ham?
I want to know. I want to know in general. Do you know what ham? If I say this, we're gonna go ham on that. Do you know what it means in the chat room right now?
All right.
Just
Let's
yes or no.
Bonnie, do you know what do you think going ham on that means? She wants to say 1920s.
How does Bonnie not have a mic?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. That's probably because she walked in after the show started and just flopped down.
Don't do that.
All right.
Well, here. Okay. So we have a split thing. There's no shame in that. And for those of you who don't know, you will forever remain in darkness. Do we have our guest set up here?
Yes, we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome to the show somebody that made quite an impression during our movie draft. And in the intervening time, both Brian and I have fallen deeply in love with his series, Movies with Mikey, on YouTube. His most recent one on Mad Max Fury Road is absolutely must watch. And I'm very much looking forward to his Ex Machina review that is coming out this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mikey Newman.
Huzzah! Oh no, he's muted. It's Mikey Muteman.
Whoa, mute Mikey.
Bam-a-lam, whoa, mute Mikey. Bam-a-lam, stabbing into that mic. Bam-a-lam, checking all of his wires. Bam-a-lam. Whoa,
Really
Mike.
going-
Oh, there we go. Mute Mikey.
Hang on, wait.
Hey!
Oh, it's great.
Hey!
Back. That's my webcam. Can you hear me now, like good on the
Yeah.
mic?
You see,
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
here,
no,
tap
man,
the mic
listen,
real quick.
It's coming in smooth as silk.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's proper
so
mic.
that ruined my whole bit because I was like, hey guys, I was busy. I was just drawing all my favorite Cartoon Network characters. For you.
That was amazing.
Apropos of nothing.
You do know that, Brian, this is going to be the new thing. That like anybody who wants to needle you will just have a hand-drawn Cartoon Network.
I was
is
listening to that story, just like, holy shit. How, what?
Dude, well, and Twitter's a funny animal because just this afternoon I tweeted out, like, because part of the community management on YouTube is that I respond to YouTube comments, and every so often, you run into a lot of people giving you sass, and you just want to say something about it, so you go to a different medium like Twitter, and I think I wrote like, golly, guys, I'm starting to think that some of these comments on YouTube are ill-informed and not very nice, and then Mikey's like, yeah, man, I think we should just turn them off sometimes, like commiserating.
I was joking.
Yeah, and then we get some dude jumping in, just full on assaulting like oh yeah. Can you find the conversation is?
He called us a puss, whatever that means.
He told us to grow a pair, and
yeah. Oh man, we're just shaming this guy. He backed down and he apologized and he understood where we're coming from. Yeah, I did. I did do my favorite. Like, if you come out and troll me hard, you get a "you're adorable."
Well, and a hug. I mean, it's like, how do you get mad at?
He deleted his tweets.
Oh, what? He did.
It's unavailable. Yeah.
Maybe, hold
Cartoon
on.
Network.
How good of an artist is he?
Pepe Silva has gone to the bear.
This was actually waiting in my house today. Now I get it. God, that's
wait,
terrifying.
hold on. He called you guys pusses or
Wait.
puss busses?
Yeah, I don't.
Puss. Yeah, quit being such a puss.
I told
That
him to
sounds-
quit such a did. So
Well, that sounds like a derogatory, misogynistic term that would be used in a Central or South American setting. For more clarification on that, we go to our misogynistic terms in Central and South America correspondent, Jaime Ruiz. Jaime, is puss something that is said in Central and South America?
See? Sounds like it, dude.
this is a new thing where you like troll people and then ghost them, like with your tweets. Maybe we're just old.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely that because
Yeah.
because we've been on the internet for more than 20 minutes, right? That means we're already forgotten.
I
and then
had an AOL account.
we're already a Today I Learned on Reddit. Today I learned that Mikey and
multiple.
Brian.
I mean, like, are we at the point where AIM just means like is AIM basically like, oh yeah, I own Spirit in the Sky on vinyl?
Oh,
Like,
yes,
Yeah.
100% yes. Yeah, no,
like
no,
that
no.
just means that we're super old if
Yeah.
we had an AIM account.
Yeah.
Well,
Mine, because I don't use it anymore. I was really into Darkwing Duck, but in high school.
Sure.
So I was Darkwing Duck 7. I remember my AOL.
By the
Because
way,
there were
I
6
think I
other
thought-
people.
I thought
Actually,
you were
no, it
bringing
was
up the fact that you were.
DRKWNGDUK. Because it had no vowels except for the U. So there was 6 of those.
I thought you were like, oh, like I was into Darkwing Duck, and like that's why you were gonna explain some like second level reference of what your username was, like, and that's why I was Negaduck. It's like, no, that's why I was Darkwing Duck.
So here's this is actually thematically perfect, Mikey, because one of the things that you do, sort of bucking the trend on. Ever since Red Letter Media, we've had a bunch of fantastic movie reviews coming out. There's the Your Movie Sucks or whatever. A lot of them have a really negative tone, and they do really great takedowns and send-ups of various properties. Your work really stands out in that it's just so thoughtful and positive, and yet it has all of the pacing. It has all of the. It teaches us to, what's great to love about movies. Is that an intentional thing that you did going into all this?
Not right away. And to get it out of the way, I am obsessed with Red Letter Media and Your Movie Sucks. I watch all the episodes multiple times.
They're
so
great.
I do like the negative shows for entertainment, but that's a more loaded question than I think you even realize.
Oh, sorry. Is that half of your responses on YouTube? He's like, oh, way to rip off Plinkett.
Yeah, well, when I do because the whole thing is I do 2 sides of myself on the show, because it's a comedy and you want to make people laugh. So I do the really fast talking person that's talking about the movie and doing this, and then I have the guy that talks off mic. It sounds it's both me, but that was just something that evolved over time because I was reviewing the first 2 Ninja Turtles movies.
but because somebody else has done multiple characters with the same voice.
And by the way, if you
clearly-
haven't watched it, sometimes that evolves, right? Like there's a lot of very deep character work within Mikey's own psyche, which I didn't realize rhymed until I said it.
Let me just
sometimes
say,
both
me
of the voices
Reiki.
then have subsequent British accents, like
Yes,
totally
which
randomly
drove
without
so many
explanation.
people ape shit. So and that was when I recorded while a little drunk and a little tired. I did movies with Michael, or his film studies with Michael, but I didn't tell anyone that it was like a spin-off joke show. So I did Big Trouble in Little China, and I had some super in-depth stuff to say about it, and I just decided that I would be like, welcome to Film Studies with Michael. I'm your host, Michael. And then when I got to the drunk parts, like in the normal show, I would talk like this for a moment. And I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And it made people angry, so angry.
Well, part of it is because, the show is really, really good, and I like it a lot because you very effortlessly kind of go from bit to bit. It is comedically sound as it is filmatically criticism sound. And so I was kind of I was expecting in that one video for it to switch gears. It's just like, oh no, we're going the distance, baby. We're going
that was
all
the
100
joke.
yards where
was the
a
joke.
British, low and high class British guy are going to yell at each other. And I was loving it. It was great.
Actually, it was funny was Notch was a huge the guy that made Minecraft,
Sure.
Marcus Pearson.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard of it?
You
Minecraft.
guys have heard of the most important game of the last decade?
Who is that guy?
But he's a fan of the show, and he became obsessed with that episode specifically. And he's not English, so I guess it doesn't really count as a defense for the accent. But he's popular. He cared.
Yeah. I mean, listen, dude, you can go to his crazy house that has candy dispensers now, probably. So, there's that now that you've cashed out on those British accents. That's awesome.
Is that how I get a really expensive house in LA?
Yes.
Just keep doing the British accents.
Yes.
I mean, between that and the Cartoon Network drawings, I feel like we've got a solid 2 steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's what we wanted to do. Mikey, we're very, very happy that you're here because what we're trying to do is find the best, worst neighborhood in America.
Okay.
And so we figured we would use all of the skills and talent and technology that the world has to offer us, which we've settled on as nextdoor.com. You ever heard of nextdoor.com?
That sounds like a porn site.
I
I mean,
dude, that would be great. That'd be great to post some porn on Nextdoor and then just go LOL wrong site and then pull it down.
well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do all the spin-offs. You could have the girl next door, the woman next door, the pool boy next door. All of your the feet you want to have sex with next door. I don't know how this works.
The
People have
goats
sex with
next
feet?
door.
Looking for confirmation on the foot thing.
So here's the thing: when you live in suburbia, you join it because you have to join it because nobody reads bulletin boards or any of that stuff. And if somebody lost a dog, or if you lost a dog, you want to be able to reach out to other people in your neighborhood. So it's one of those things that everybody has to do. But then you end up just getting lost in this minutia and triteness of what your
it's like,
neighborhood.
listen, this is the tragedy of the bulletin board, right? Like, yes, in theory, it's a good idea, but either it winds up being random noise or terrible things. Like, there's really no, especially on the internet where there's an anonymous nature to it, and you can just post random hate with the, click of the keyboard. What you wind up getting is a bunch of petty nonsense and silliness on nextdoor.com.
All right. Well, our first one comes from BioCow, and this is, I assume, from his actual neighborhood. So and that's the other thing. We asked everybody. I don't think it's possible to search Nextdoor unless you're physically in that neighborhood. You join a particular neighborhood, correct, Bonnie? Right. Okay. So in BioCow's neighborhood, there's a post that at the top it says, "I have an STD for neighbors." And then when you
Like, is that an offer? Hey,
I mean, apparently
so. Come on.
Then you click on it, and it says, please save the date. Saturday, May 14th, for the tree planting with our city forest. Details available here. Link.
And then here are some of the replies. Not sure how many volunteers you'll get with an acronym like that. I truly had no idea what this headline meant. I just fainted. Thanks for the laugh. And of course, sharing is caring.
Oh, wait. And then a twist at the end. This was not an intentional joke he made. OP replies, sorry, I wasn't born here, and English isn't so good. So that's amazing.
I've used that excuse before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you give someone an STD.
Whenever. Oh, sure. Well,
When I give someone an STD, I tell my neighborhood watch. Just like.
Just be on the lookout for my signature.
I like really want to develop an accent, and like I'll just have to make up my own. But like, man, it would be so convenient just to go. Oh yeah, I don't, because
to have that to hide behind.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Don't. Okay.
I've lived
Talk
here all
normally.
my life. Yeah.
That's fine. Just don't change the way you talk.
Okay.
Just hide behind it anyway.
Oh. Okay. How?
And then just say English isn't my first language. And then when they ask, well, what is? You're like, I don't like to talk about it. And then they think like you're a refugee, you came from somewhere.
Or I could just say body language is my first language.
No.
Look away toward the skyline.
That sounds
and
like
you
a
say,
porn.
Finally, I am an American.
no, you can just go no habla.
You suddenly forget
no habla.
English mid
No
sentence.
habla.
Okay.
And it's, that's it.
All right, so here's the deal, Mikey. The way that we determine who the best is we basically have each one come down the pike, and this first one is the champion. You can either dethrone the champion, new champion with each challenger that comes in, or we can retain the last one that was there as the best. And then by the end of it, we have one that stands alone. Based on who could survive the gauntlet the best.
The first challenger that arrives is titled Zombie Christmas Tree in the Park. There's an image of a dead Christmas tree on the curb. Seriously? Who does this? This Christmas tree was dumped in the park facing Chetwood. There are numerous and free opportunities to dispose of the tree after Christmas. The rest of us have mustered up the incentive to do right and dispose of our trees, but some people are just too lazy. Their Christmas celebration privileges should be suspended until further notice. I hope it's not
legal.
someone from the neighborhood, but if it is, the tree should be returned to their house, preferably in front of their doorway or stuffed under their car.
Oh my God.
This makes them a bad human being. As a result, we all have to look at this poignant symbol of the passage of time. The once great icon of a happy and joyous season is now reduced to a rotting and decaying reminder of the frailty of life and the human condition. If I have the space, I'll try and cut it up for the next garbage pickup unless someone knows of a better way to recycle it. Although I still like the idea of stuffing it under the perpetrator's car.
By the way, signed Alan Rickman and Prince of Thieves.
All right, and then we did get a response, but it wasn't very interesting.
All right, so there we go. Zombie Christmas tree in the park. Do you find that more or less interesting than the STD offered to the neighborhood?
Oh, gosh. There's a lot of backstory I can sort of extrapolate from this human being. It's like, what must it be like to live next door to this person? And I can only imagine. Awful.
Oh, out for a
Awful.
daily stroll are we, enjoying the fusion rays of 1,000-year reign of the sun shining.
This sounds like a dude that's ringing your doorbell at 6:30 in the morning like, well, as the leader of the neighborhood watch, I must inform you that your deadbolt was not fastened last night. It's like, you were in my house? Like, what? Like,
Listen, dude,
that
I'll
guy.
tell you what. Mikey, you can go on your own next door right now, and you will understand the very thin level, the membrane that is separating you and your neighborhood from chaos based on the simmering, bubbling tensions of your neighbors.
So here's why I will never do it. I am that house. Like, if I go on there and check out my neighborhood, they're all going to be like, because I've been reported to the city for peeling paint on my west gable. I had to Google what the fuck is a west gable. I always have this happen. So if I go on there, they're all complaining about me. So no.
So no. So you don't want to hear that. You are willfully putting your fingers in your ear and saying my gables are my own, and I don't want to hear your guff.
All right. So who wins? Zombie Christmas Tree or what was the first one? It's the STD.
Zombie Christmas Tree's got to win. Zombie Christmas
STD
Tree's
is just
got
like,
mine.
that person didn't speak good enough. Like if that person lived next door, you could probably have a lovely tea with them.
All right,
I gotta go
so
Zombie
in other words, the STD was a hilarious misunderstanding. This is like the first sign of like, oh, that's a pretty bad neighborhood.
I like Mikey. You've hit on it. What we're identifying is the worst neighbors. That's right. Where we are. That's our judging capacity. So let's go to this next one.
Story, and this would probably also show up in your neighborhood. My next door neighbor burned down their house because their kid was trying to cook meth in it.
Oh, wait, just well, I tried grounding them. There's only one thing next.
No, like their teenage son.
No, he was cooking meth. He screwed up.
He was cooking meth and he blew up their house.
I thought you were saying the neighbor. I thought it was a weird punishment. I was just like, why would you burn down a house to punish the kid?
Show him.
That's murder.
That's both arson and murder. Like those are two crimes that have names.
All right, take the next one here, Justin.
Although I could imagine if the zombie Christmas tree person was in Mikey's house and got to write that next door, like a reminder of the frailty of the comedic bonds that keep us together.
That's amazing.
Horse poop, some old, some new. Your choice is the title.
That's the text reads, I host a podcast called Night Attack. Watch new and old episodes. It says, I have a lot of horse poop up for grabs. If you're interested, PM me. I have shovels. You have a truck bed or trailer. Organic, no medication. PM me. Thanks, Jen. Wow. No replies.
Literally trying to give horse poop away.
What is the word when you discriminate against different car types? Because he's only saying trucks and he's very vehicleist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you're not going to shove a horse poop into a Corolla, right?
You have a hatchback.
That's my choice.
You might.
Don't put your laws on me, man.
All right, my vote is that's not as good as Zombie Christmas Tree.
No.
That's a good neighbor, man. And in an agrarian society, like that is a solid.
Wait, hold on. Bonnie just handed me one from our neighborhood.
Late. Bonnie, listen. You have a strategic advantage. We could get to the end of these, and you could just slide one in at the last minute and win this whole thing. Are you sure you want to put it in now?
Can you search the site by comment?
I don't think you could search outside your own neighborhood.
Oh no, just your own neighborhood. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, but let me. This is a beast of a thing. I'm gonna hold off on this one.
I don't know. It may not be funny enough. But it was a rant, man.
Okay. Is this the one that gave you the idea for a next door bit?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
This next one is newspapers. Hi, everyone. I'm in search of any newspaper that you might be getting rid of. Let me know, and I'll pick it up.
No responses except for the one comment from the person that says, bump.
I mean, listen, she's on the hunt for them papes.
Any action on this one, Mikey?
There's nothing. That's the your neighborhood equivalent of a person saying "op me."
All right, this one's clearly urgent because it's in all caps and the title reads "Suspicious Person." Take it away, Justin.
On Sunday at approximately 2 p.m., I saw a guy walking through our backyard. I asked him what he was doing, and he just said he was cutting through. I asked him why he thought he could just cut through people's yards, and he said there were, quote unquote, no fences. I told him that if he didn't leave, I was going to call the cops. He soon left and I walked around the street to make sure he was gone. He was an adult, probably 20 to 30, tall, thin, with dark hair, wearing a black leather jacket and gray hoodie. Not wearing the hood. He was wearing glasses or sunglasses and a wool hat, carrying a small bottle of light blue Gatorade. He said his name was Mike McCluskey.
I want to party with Mike McCluskey. Get him on the phone.
That little minor detail at the end. I guess I'll throw this in too.
Also, by the way, I'd like to imagine that he really is named Mike McCluskey, and he literally, this was the most civil thing for him. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just cutting through because there's no fences."
I hope-
What's
I
your
hope there's
name? Mike McCluskey? I'll call the cops. Okay, I'm leaving.
I hope that the police were like, "Can you tell us about this person?" And he spends 10 minutes describing the person instead of just saying their name.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And it is Mike McCluskey. He lives next door to me. But
God, just
still.
so sad. I'm done. I gotta go.
All right, what do you say,
That,
Mikey?
wow. If it was revealed at the end that actually all took place in a Walmart, I would say absolutely. But, oh gosh, is that worse? That person just sounds really
Hold on,
dense.
time out. I might need to spice it up a little bit with one of the comments.
Yeah, I think, is this an OP comment at the bottom?
I don't think it is. I think it's another neighbor. One neighbor says, "Did somebody alert the police to do some drive-bys for us?" Someone else said, "Question, what is the protocol here? Do you have to be politically correct? And what is the opposite of that now called? Something with reference to Trump? Thanks, just tossing it around." And then finally another neighbor chimes in, "Do these not
I assume, by the way, to lead up to this, this is a comment that is frustrated that there has not been more action taken based on this first-person account on nextdoor.com.
And then finally, the most exasperated neighbor shouts, "Do these not carry any weight? No trespassing. Private property, keep out. Pass at your own risk. No passing through. Police take notice. Remember how dogs used to cover it? I just realized we don't have to listen to barking dogs anymore. I'm a watchdog to the underdog. The fat cats carry the burdens of quote-unquote wealth. Peeping Toms, anybody? No, sorry, that's something else again. I'll secretly tell you what does bother me. Police and ambulance sirens."
That's Mike. That's Mike McCluskey right there.
Oh,
Did he end with
believe
hashtag
it.
Make America Great Again?
Oh my god! Now, what is the name of the show? The name of the
Night Attack. You're on
no,
Night Attack. It's called Night
I
Attack.
mean the name of the game though. The name of the game
the
is
best worst neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay, so
that
did the guy that
includes
posted
the
that last
responses?
comment, is he definitely in this neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
All
no.
the
So, okay,
responses-
so your
posting, yeah.
chances of death have gone up, which I don't think existed in the zombie Christmas tree. If you give me a choice of being dead or having a Christmas tree under my car, Christmas
Okay,
yeah.
tree.
So
No,
new
you wanna know
champion.
what? New champion. Woo!
I had to throw
we
the
have a
lat.
new champion.
I'm like Hell's Kitchen. You're all going out. I don't think that
all
makes
right.
sense.
Here
Can
we
I try
go.
that one again?
This one
Rewind
we get a
the
little
tape.
serious here. Police action on Blank Ave this past Saturday while driving down Blank Ave, coming from Blank Road. I encountered about 20 police cars in the middle of the street. They had 2 people in custody on the ground. Apparently, 2 individuals tried to break into a 90-year-old woman's house. She was home. They saw her and left. They came back and threw a large rock through her slider. She was able to call 911, and the police arrived right away and arrested a man and a woman that were under the influence of meth. This happened around 4 p.m. in broad daylight. Did anyone else hear or read about this? Be careful out there.
Then the response says, "I'm Facebook friends with the lady's daughter. This is the account of what really happened that my friend posted on the neighborhood Facebook page. Here it is. So this is the story. I heard wrong about them accusing my mom of eating their baby." What? They might have said it to an officer, but not to mom. My brother Ken wrote this. By the way, BioCal points out that there were no previous comments about eating a baby. Mom was in her back room watching TV, saw a gal and a guy walk across the patio into the backyard. Guy and a gal knocked on the sliding glass door. She thought nothing of it, thinking they were neighbors. She opened the glass door and they asked if she heard any strange noises the night before. No, she said, and invited them in. The two followed Mom into the living room. They all sat down. Mom didn't think anything was amiss until the gal asked if Mom was afraid of the demons that were in Mom's house. Mom said she wasn't afraid of demons because she was filled with the Holy Spirit, and demons can't enter anyone filled with the Holy Spirit. Gal said she used to be a Baptist and then a Catholic, so Mom thought maybe they were a religious cult or something. The gal then asked her for something to eat. Mom said her cupboards were bare and that her children were bringing over food that night. The gal then said she had a demon inside her and asked if Mom would pray for her. Mom said yes, so she walked over to Mom. Mom laid her hand on the woman's stomach, and God gave her the right things to say. The guy said he couldn't sit anymore and needed to go outside. So Mom went to the front door and opened it, suggested the girl go out with him to see if he was okay. She locked the door behind them, called her friend Diane. Diane told her to call... Diane told her to call 911. Mom did. Mom had just been watching him through the front window. The girl was behaving as if she were sick on the front lawn. The guy, who was taller than me, walked over to the front. These details are insane. And knocked on it. Mom
the best short fiction writing on the internet is being done on nextdoor.com.
Right? Mom did answer. She saw them walk towards the patio to the backyard. Thankfully, Mom always keeps her doors locked.
Jesus Christ! By the way, all right, here. I think let's either skip. This is so long. This is another 8 minutes.
Okay, imagine 8 more paragraphs of all the stuff I just said, followed by the final line. They must have been high on something.
Unlike myself, who is like, wow.
By the way, I love how the lady, I mean, number one, these are great details. This is an amazing effort of journalism to get as many of these on-the-record details as possible from first-hand sources. But the idea that the woman first asked, hey, you afraid of the demons in your house? No. The Holy Spirit protects me. Oh. So I got a demon inside of me. I guess I don't know whether or not she was like insinuating that she got it from the house or she was bringing it in.
I don't know.
Do you want to know what the spoils of their home invasion were?
Yeah.
Ham out of the refrigerator and a ham bone out of the freezer. The ham bone ended up on the front lawn.
You guys were talking about ham earlier.
Yeah. They did. Those two certainly went ham.
This is the weirdest Twilight Zone episode I've ever seen. All right, so I'm gonna, Mikey. You don't look like you're impressed by this one.
Well, it doesn't feel as dangerous, and that's gonna be the problem here. Is that somebody's like, if I'd have seen him on my lawn, I'd have shot him in the dick. Like that. There's nothing.
Well,
I mean, I'm not afraid of somebody being like, a demon will enter you. And I'll just be like, okay, sure. Like, I'm not crazy, so.
I got one that might tickle your fancy.
Okay, I'm
Michael's big idea. Area-wide suspicious persons database. It writes like this. I have a big idea. Let's assemble an area-wide database of photos, including time and location, of prowlers, suspicious people, and cars, package thieves, etc., that watchful people can use as a quick reference. I don't have the internet know-how to do this myself, but I can help with the collecting, indexing, and descriptions. We need at least one internet-savvy person who can set up a domain and create the shell of a database for others to post to. At minimum, a posting would require a headshot, and we need to be able to scroll or click through the headshots in rapid succession. Who's with me on this?
So there's a number of there's like 20 responses, and half of them are like, yeah, let's do it, and then the other half are like, that's profiling. That's collecting pictures of minorities in your neighborhood. No.
I did not to plug my show, but in the Big Trouble episode, I have that because somebody gifted. It's like I made a fake game show called "That's What Makes You a Racist" of the week.
That's awesome.
I feel like that applies here. That's really weird, but not worse.
All right.
Sorry, it's good.
We got one more to go. Okay. Here we go. To those of you who know who I am, goodbye. I'm dropping out.
Can we get the sad piano music over this? I'll read it on my end so you don't have to duck it out.
Sure.
Here we go. I'm going to take a moment. I'm dropping out. I guess my quote-unquote big idea is no Nazi-fueled witch hunt. It's the same as having a sex offender database. Should make it difficult for confirmed prowlers to continue to burglarize their homes, but the community's having none of it. The idea came to me because I have a photo of a confirmed prowler. He was videoed testing the locked gate at my friend's house at 4:30 a.m. My friend had been broken into multiple times. Others have sent photos of package thieves on this forum. Not a witch hunt. A woman walking off with a recently delivered package. It's fair game as far as I'm concerned. There are no comments. This is the same guy who proposed the
It's
suspicious
Michael.
people.
Michael's big idea was a failure, and now he's dropping out. So we can judge them as two. All right, you have the champion so far is
getting murdered on fenceless lawns
right?
That are not
yeah, there we go.
Not
Suspicious
demarcated
person
in any way. You could just be killed.
Mike
by
McCluskey
walking.
or whatever the name is.
But yeah, it is the big Mike McCluskey fiasco, or you can take Michael's big idea, part 1 and part 2, the second part. Now knowing that it ends in tragedy, the neighborhood rejects Michael's idea, and now he is left to fend for himself without his comprehensive database of prowlers and package stealers.
Oh god, that's tough. Now that I know he's like passive aggressive and a dump of a person, that's the. God, I'm gonna say this is worse because I want this to stay around. This needs to be read again. We need to remember Mike McCluskey. # remember Mike McCluskey.
There we go. Mike McCluskey is our champion. # Mike McCluskey. Same champion.
It's # remember Mike McCluskey. You cannot forget
Never
forget 7-Eleven.
Remember him. Never forget. # never forget. # Mike McCluskey.
Also, half of those were BioCow's neighborhood. We need to start a GoFundMe to get BioCow out of his neighborhood.
Also, by the way, BioCow apparently lives very close to me. So
you guys are all doing it in the channel. Use your Twitter and tweet remember Mike McCluskey. We can
but
get
then
this
delete
trending.
the tweets and include pictures of Cartoon Network characters.
Make America McCluskey again is what everybody is saying,
awesome.
including Babcat in the chat room.
Mine was definitely not good as Mike McCluskey.
Okay, all of those that we read put together, about
Yeah.
2/3 of the length of the one post Bonnie handed
I know,
to me.
it wasn't that great, but all I'm going to say is the guy in our neighborhood was sad because our flag got tattered in the winds. And so he was just like, shame on you. You guys should have more pride in your flag. Oh my God. And then I'm just like, oh my God, it was
I thought he was going to be like, fie on you, the winds. Like, how dare you defile the spirit of America.
Right.
Build a barricade to stop the wind.
Exactly. No, he was so upset because nobody seemed to be like, he was like, who's with me? And nobody like chimed in because like we know that it's going to get replaced.
It gets replaced every year.
Yeah, it gets replaced every year. We're not really too worried about it. And then he's just like, he's really upset about it. And he writes 8 pages of like, shame on you, neighborhood. And then this is the funny part is like when one day we're rolling up and apparently he got his way and Brian and I are rolling up into our neighborhood and he goes, I'm so glad they replaced that flag. Oh, that is a really great flag. And he's just
he's the one who's like, why don't grandfather clocks gong 12 times anymore? You don't care about what time it is. And then it hits noon, and he's like, I'm glad I rallied the troops.
Yeah, but just that Brian's just like, oh, look at this flag. And I'm like,
right.
You're him, aren't you?
Also, it's like, you guys got one of those like auto dealership like flags out in front of your property. It's like one of those gigantic American flags. You couldn't take that down if you wanted to. It'd be like a football game where you'd have to have 14 people on each side to fold it up in the proper thing and then put it back up each day.
Yes.
Those are all factual. Hey, Mikey, do you want to stick around with us through Diamond Time, and we could check in on the movie draft where I don't know if you noticed who's in first place, but Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. That's a tease. But first,
well, Jungle Book did really good though, so actually I'm a little worried.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, we'll say you just want to go straight. Let's go straight to the movie.
Sorry,
draft
I didn't mean to.
No. We'll go into the movie draft
with
minute.
Movies with Mikey.
Let's bring it.
Welcome to your Movie Draft Minute presented by CosmicRadio.tv for the week of April 18th, 2016. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. And now begins the long march that we'd like to call DTNS. Let's go check the scoreboard. Team Cord Killers and We Have Concerns are both tied for 5th place. Still waiting for the first
Jesus.
Team Night Attack is in 4th place with $48.2 million. Team Mem Trucker is in 3rd place with $52 million. Team DTNS is in 2nd place with the Jungle Book bringing in $103.2 million. And in 1st place with whopping $311.3 million. It's Team Chainsaw Suit. And that is your Movie Draft Minute for the week of April 18th, 2016. Nominated for the Podcast Awards.
Did he say we had $0?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think you have any movies come out yet.
No. We definitely have 49 million. Oh yeah, 48.2. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That'll show me for only half paying attention. Dude. So how are you feeling about your odds right now, Mikey?
We got some strong hitters in the back half. Batman vs Superman, I would say, had a great opener and is underperforming since then. Yeah, we have. I'm really excited about Alice Through the Looking Glass, but less excited because this is not international totals because we put it on our list. I think Ninja Turtles is going to do really good. Central Intelligence, I think, just had Kevin Hart attached. It was Kevin Hart and The Rock, and I was like, that's probably 20 million. And Mother's Day.
Oh no, that might do 100. I mean, really, number one, I don't think that we're going to get a better deal. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we will because of where Civil War fell in the draft. But you guys got earlier and more impressively, Batman Superman for $26, and it is already at 311. Figure it gets to at least 340 or 50.
Yeah.
That's an insane bargain. You guys got that at.
Yeah. I think Civil War is the elephant in the room. That could outgross every other team on its own, probably.
So
if it's really good, it will. So
to put it in perspective, Mikey, you guys have spent a total of $26 game dollars so far, and you're at $311 million. We have spent a total of $33 game dollars, and we are at $48 million.
Yeah.
So we spent a third of our money, and a lot of that was because we got that we just paid that silly price for Hardcore Henry. But yeah, I don't know.
We made no money.
Pretty much, we're all just Civil War and Ghostbusters now. I don't think we have the goods.
Ghostbusters is probably 100 to 200 easy.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Is it runs out after it's hard to see it higher than 150 because it's so constrained. It's
gonna have legs though. It's a Paul Feig movie. I mean, his movies always have legs.
They make money. But here's the thing: is like Civil War has the capacity to do like
everything.
600,
$700 million, right?
Yep. No,
like,
that's
like
a good point.
If it is as good, if it's as good as what the reviews are saying,
have you heard this? The reviews are saying like it's not only a worthy sequel. It's not they're saying it's not only one of the best Marvel movies so far. They're saying it feels like the culmination of an 11 movie journey to get to this moment. They're saying it's pitch perfect. So I don't know. I can't tell if that
we stole Batman. It wasn't even on our list. We were trying to go.
No, you guys. I feel like listen. I mean, there's. This is gonna be tight. This is gonna be very, very tight and exciting.
Hey, let's do this, Justin. Let's do a quick Diamond Time rundown, and then we'll do a special edition live in studio Diamond Time.
You got it. So then we'll skip one down to the next one. I assume that's
sure.
Yeah. Jackie Hearn writes, "Hey, follow Diamond Club pals. I noticed that our longtime friend, podcast extraordinaire Roberto Villegas, is somehow not part of the Podcast Awards hat system. He does like 17,000 podcasts and does them well. So when you're making your nominations, please consider My So-Called 8-Bit Life or Cinematography. Honestly, there are so many Diamond Clubbers who have shows that didn't make this hat cut. Don't forget them either when you're making your nominations. Don't leave open spots when nominating when somebody in the hat doesn't quite fit you. There's also a video message from CosmicRadio.tv about it. You can find it at YOLO420.com/Cosmic Swag. So here's the deal. We had this thing with the nominations where people were voting to see what our political party slate would be for the podcast awards.
That's hat.t2t2 or sorry, hat.t2t2.eu. The hat party. It's a political party. And
Hatting the system, ensuring the podcast awards feature enough funny hats. Hat.t2t2.eu. However, we have left the People's Choice Award open. So whatever
Justin, they left it open.
They left it open. Well, I mean, we as in the cosmic we, like we as humanity. And so you can vote for whoever you want. And I, for one, will be voting for my so-called 8-Bit Life, a show done by a very good man, Roberto Villegas. I'll be voting for that for People's Choice Awards.
Agreed. Right with you. Next up, we've got... sorted by top. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, Brian, Justin, and assorted Night Attack listeners whose names I do not know. My name is Thomas Clark, and I love movies a lot. So much so that I started reviewing them in the form of a podcast because I'm a terrible writer and I don't want to deal with YouTube's content ID BS. The podcast is
Hey,
called...
Mikey, do you know anything about that?
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah. Let me real quick say this, and I want to get more of the story on that. The podcast is called Clark Film, and it's available on the majority of your podcatcher apps, or you could just click on clarkfilm.libsym.com. That's libsyn.com. I try to review as many movies as I can and many TV shows as I'm interested in, and pretty much guarantee it's at least 2 or 3 reviews a week. If you go there at a time that this is hopefully being read on the show, you should be able to get reviews for The Jungle Book, Barbershop, The Next Cut, Criminal, Connected, Bilge, a whole bunch of movies. I would very much appreciate it if you'd listen, if for no other reason than to justify me torturing myself with 20 episodes of Supergirl. Thank you, and please kill me. It's the only way to erase that monstrosity from my brain. Head on over to YOLO420.com/ClarkSwag.
By the way, I just love the sign off. Thank you, and please kill me.
It's sort of the inverse of die in a fire, right?
Well, you want to know what? I very, very, very much am excited about this because the idea, especially in this day and age, that like you too can be a critic, like all critics do, and it is easier than you might think to get on your local list for the studios and the theaters that run the screeners for movies that they show on Tuesday, so writers can write up their reviews for the Friday edition of whatever publication they're writing for. You too can do that. And I love this hustle. I love the idea that you want to know what? I'm going to write about everything. I'm going to put in a full critic slate of watching all these TV and movies and actually put it out there. That's awesome. I will be supporting and listening to this show.
All right, but first I want to get the secret politics. I want to hear some gossip from Mikey. I want to hear
this
about.
Is all very public. So it's not that gossipy.
He hopped on Nextdoor.com and started talking about how his content ID stuff was nonsense.
Any y'all deal with content ID when you're posting your movie reviews?
Well, yeah. So this is actually slightly separate from content ID because content ID is just something that automatically detects whether you're using footage or audio. Mostly they try to just detect audio, so if you cut up the audio, it helps to skip that. But this particular thing was my Robin Hood Prince of Thieves video was taken down by Warner Brothers for manual detection of content. And that just means that somebody at Warner Brothers clicked the video and was like, "Whoa, it's using Robin Hood. Fuck this guy." And but the whole thing is like, you should go watch this movie. It's better than you remember. Like, there's no takedowns in my
For the
stuff.
record, I loved that movie at the time.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
That episode's a little weird because it has an in memoriam for the Sheriff of Nottingham, which ends up being an in memoriam for Alan Rickman now. But
yeah.
So I file an appeal, which usually with continuity or whatever, I file an appeal saying, hey, this is fair use. It meets all the criteria of fair use. I am taking the original thing and I am editing and transforming it to provide commentary and facilitate commentary on it.
Usually, so it's like there's different layers under the. And tell me if I'm getting this right. And you certainly are more intimately familiar with it than me at this point. But the DMCA says that there is a face-off procedure between you and the other party. YouTube, in an effort to avoid that, does have automatic content ID stuff. Oftentimes, stuff will get flagged. And then usually the next step is, if it's obvious piracy and you can't justify it and you don't want to fight it, then they just take it down or they monetize it or they give money to the other party. But then you did the first step of saying like, hey man, this is clearly fair use. It is a review of this body of work and it's transformative. Nobody's watching this review hoping to get the experience of watching Prince of Thieves. And usually now, and then usually that's the end of it, except for it is possible for the party to say, no, seriously, now we're outside of YouTube. Like, we'll take you to court if you don't do this, right?
Well, they have to deny the appeal twice, which over many months they did. Because the thing about any of the detection strikes or manual strikes is that it turns off monetization automatically for you. And if they choose, they can turn on monetization for them. Now, there's like with music, if you use music, you're kind of boned there. But what makes this very singular as an experience, they chose when they did the manual detection on the Robin Hood video to take it down. They pulled the video from YouTube. So I appeal, they deny. I appeal, they deny. For 3 months, this video is just gone. And I finally, like, because the last time you appeal, you have to fill out every single blank about how it is fair use and
well, and you linked to your answers on that pop quiz, and I thought that they were
because I was so pissed off.
Pretty straightforward.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
And so I posted a screenshot of all my answers, and I went on kind of a tweet spree of some angry things, and then people started picking it up.
Well, good, because and sometimes, unfortunately, that's the only way. Is you got to go to the kangaroo court of public opinion. Because I know at some point, didn't they full on revoke the account of Your Movie Sucks because his Lord of the Rings review had some footage in it?
I don't know. I mean, he had his fair use thing was with the Cool Cat guy because that guy kept making fair use videos about what fair use wasn't. It's actually really funny to watch all of it, and you should definitely check out the Your Movie Sucks for Cool Cat because it's hilarious and fuck that guy.
All right, I'll check all that out.
But so it's been down for 3 months, and Will Wheaton picks it up. I have Tony Zhu from Every Frame's a Painting jumping in. I have Cecil from Good Bad Flicks jumping in. Channel Awesome jumped in. Like, I have a lot of support, and I am in the process that day because I'm just furious, and I happen to be editing my Fury Road review. And I was like, wait a minute. I stopped to think, and I clicked to the beginning of my rip of the movie because I ripped the Blu-rays, and the logos come up, and it was just like, hello, darkness, my old friend, because it was a Warner Brothers movie. And I was like, oh, no. This is going to be down before it's anything. And Fury Road went up, and 4 hours later, they pulled the strike off the Robin Hood review, and it went back online.
Oh, good. Awesome. Hey, one for the good guys.
I mean, like, ultimately, I really just feel like there should be a network of, like, the people who are employed at all these major companies that get it, right? Like there shouldn't be some larger system. There is somebody who is under the age of 50 whose job it is to actually deal with this stuff. At this point in 2016, every company employs one of them. It's just a matter of getting your situation to them, like, as fast as possible, so reasonable things can just be dealt with by reasonable people.
Yeah, I want to quickly harp on this because it's important to understand because there's a movement, where's the fair use? The issue is that YouTube never steps in. There is never an objective party. There is only the subjective party that's like, I own the thing, you can't use it, which is not true. And if they deny you 3 times, because that was the risk, that was why I was so angry. If they just decided to deny me the 3rd time, that's a strike on my account. If that happens 3 times, your account is deleted. And YouTube never steps in.
Yeah.
Well, because
that's
part of their very weird dance with Safe Harbor, right? Like that, like they can't make a decision because them making a decision means that they
are curators
legally,
now.
Like they need to watch everything that comes in.
Although even if you do get
you needed an objective third party to determine if something is not fair use, because the people over there are just told by their bosses nothing is fair use.
Yeah.
They were using the takedowns against a movie review show that only talked about movies in their car after they saw it, and they were getting copyright strikes.
Wow. Not cool. But here's the important thing. You won. The good guys won.
Yes.
And you need a way to celebrate that. You need a
Yeah.
physical manifestation of joy. And I can think of no better way to celebrate a victory than by watching a unicorn fart rainbows.
Oh, yes, of course.
Can I press it?
Sure.
I just pressed it.
Kind of a mist. It's not really a fart. Like a fart's like, bleh. Like that's just like.
Well, no, that's a real gasser though. Like that's one that like keeps going and doesn't quit.
That's a room clearer.
Exactly.
That's a building clearer, is what that is. Like,
It had a little bit
That
too many
is-
jelly beans. I'm sorry. It's
All right, Jaime, talk to us about what we're looking at here.
okay. So remember that time?
Into the mic.
Into the mic
is where you talk.
I will speak into the mic. Remember that time that a bunch of little girls asked me to make a thing?
Yeah, sure.
Including, Josie.
All the neighborhood
Jesus,
kids.
Jaime, can we please start out with a better lead-in than a bunch of little girls asked me to make a thing? Come on.
Here, you know what? Actually, I'm going to designate your spokesman. It's Toots Hype Man, live on the air all the way from Oakland, California. Tell us the story of Toots, Justin.
There once was a man named Jaime whose prowess was so big he could say, "Hey, man, I make cool things." Brian, you started.
Okay. All right, look. The Toots unicorn is the 3D printed, actual physical unicorn. Runs on batteries, Wi-Fi enabled.
Yes.
And you could set it up to anytime good news happens. In fact, you have an orientation video, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look at the Indiegogo. Where's your Indiegogo?
It is at YOLO 420 Toots swag.
TOOTZ SWAG.
Yeah.
YOLO 420 Toots swag. And you're trying to get enough of these pre-order that you could
Well,
do them at scale.
let's explain like what they are. They are Internet of Things devices wherein you can plug in whatever formula that you want, and this unicorn will fart rainbows on command.
Yeah,
Right.
so let's say you get a subscriber on YouTube, then it farts rainbows. You're in the middle of live stream at twitch.tv, somebody subscribes, and then it farts rainbows. Here, Brant is the voice of Toots. Oh, you gotta unmute. There we go.
Hi, I'm Toots. I'm a unicorn, and I love happiness and sparkles and sunshine. And once I'm connected to the internet, I'll let you know when important things happen. The only way a unicorn knows how. I can check Twitter for your notifications as well as your favorite hashtags. If you enjoy Twitch, I can announce when your favorite streamers go live. Or if you get a new subscriber or a donation, you simply set me up on your smartphone or in a browser. I listen for pretty much anything you want over Wi-Fi. At launch, I'll be ready for Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Gmail, with new services being added every day. Just tell me what matters most to you, and I'll do what unicorns do best. Rainbows.
So yeah, that's it. It does that.
Dude, it's amazing.
No, but it's man, your phone gets all kinds of notifications, and half of them are either neutral or bad news. Toots only get good news. That's what it gets. That's what it does. That's the thing.
I love this chart. You got the cloud that says the internet. You
Yep.
got Node.js WebSockets tech stuff. And if it's good news, it goes to Toots' butt. If it's bad news, it goes to the YouTube comments.
Yep. It just leaves. Just goes away.
That is awesome. And the whole thing really did happen because my 7-year-old or 8-year-old now, wow.
Oh,
so it was saying that she wants wants a unicorn that farts rainbows.
And boom, made. I mean, not flesh, but about as fleshy as. I'll tell you what, it looks fleshy with the way that cheek flapping fart is flying out of that unicorn's anus.
So yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Mikey. What would you, if you had a Toots unicorn to fart rainbows? What would you like to hook it up to so it would fart rainbows whenever that action happened?
I would definitely put it in the office. I'm trying to think about like what's the thing that like people are always asking us to do at Gearbox. I would hook it up to the Gearbox Twitter account specific to like something that it's always said. So every time this horrible thing is said, it just farts and then people start saying it more. Because I'm trying to troll my friends. Also, this is the cleverest way to poison someone ever. Because they're never suspected.
Poison.
You'd never suspect a unicorn to kill you with its anal cavity.
By the way, this is the best. This 10-second clip of the show is the best part, like the best evidence found in a CSI episode ever. Right?
Okay. While Toots will accept poison, it will void your warranty. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes,
I would,
murder does often.
I'll tell you what I would do. I would hook it up to the home security system, so whenever there's motion detected and there's a prowler at my back door, or maybe trespassing
at Toots' back door.
Exactly. A real Mike McCluskey.
Oh, Bryce. No, I think you got to keep it positive, like rainbows. So, like I would hook it up to your store.
Oh man! Every time someone buys something,
it goes poof.
That's true.
Somebody who bought it has a restaurant, and whenever they get online orders, he wants to have it go off. So
that's awesome,
yeah.
Dude. Well, all right. So it's yellow420.com/tootswag. And how long you got?
Let's give everybody a sense of where this is at. This is Toots a Unicorn. This is actually happening. They are Jaime is looking for a very reasonable $9,000. We got a month left. I'm sure you are going to blow by that. That is not even going to be a thing.
We'll see.
Yeah, you're already getting
how
press
much do
coverage
you
on
need
this.
to pay to get one of these things all up in your life?
It's actually I'm putting on the chat for those who watch live. I'm putting a special discount link that will give you will get it for $65, and it is a complete Internet of Things device, completely wireless, and has Bluetooth LE for configuration and stuff. So you can, and I'll be happy to open it up to people who want to hack it or change it or whatever.
Sorry, I can't talk. Busy buying a toot.
I know. Like, for me, this is like the best thing to watch in all the world, because like here Jaime comes in, he's amazing, he makes things from his mind, and then the kids come up, and I'm watching this happen in real time, and the kids come up and they're just like, oh, we want this, and then he looks up to his left and he nods once, and then I knew it was done. He's like, I can make that. And then he nods again. He's like, yeah, I've got it worked out. And then it was done. It was so amazing. Like, he had a prototype 2 months later. I mean, there was several incarnations. It was work, but
here we go. That's
here.
it, man. The book's already written. A series of nods. The Jaime story.
No, it was super interesting because it was like these girls think I'm a wizard, so I can do anything, right?
Yes.
And the first girl says, "Oh, I want a unicorn that farts rainbows." The next girl says, "Oh, I want a flying horse that farts rainbows," and the third one says, "Oh, I want a kitty cat that farts." I'm like, maybe there's something to this farting rainbows business.
Well, I like unicorns, so I'm glad you stuck with that.
Yeah. No, but we're getting a lot of interesting requests, and if we reach the goal, we're definitely going to go next with a dragon and something called the hype train, which is a little train that will bellow smoke when you
oh my
get
god,
subs
guys,
and stuff like that.
Guys, by the way, there's a link here in the chat. California Carl, baby, he is doing the Lord's work. Links to reddit.com/r/MLP Lounge. MLP standing for My Little Pony Lounge.
Yeah.
Where Toots is just blowing up. The number one.
Oh, dude!
Comment how much? I'll take 2.
Man, I'd hate to suggest that anyone should or shouldn't vote for a thing, but I know that I'm definitely going and logging in and upvoting that right now.
And also, if anybody frequents this particular place, you can also modify it so that it looks like either Rainbow Dash zooming along or something like that. Not necessarily.
Whoa! Yeah, nobody wants to get sued. You can
Right,
you can have
want to,
modifications to make it look like anything, up to and including
Yeah,
Rainbow Dash, Abe
whatever.
Pagoda, Abraham Lincoln,
Yes.
Harriet Tubman.
It's up to you.
Can I put Brant's face on it? I mean, oh, come on, that commercial.
Well, yeah, no,
was
that'll
amazing.
happen. Look, all right. Look, everyone, head on over. Mikey, where? Let's do plugs. Where can we see more of your beautiful, beautiful work?
You can search YouTube for Movies of Mikey. Go to moviesofmikey.com. You can listen to my podcast with Will Wheaton at tvcrimes.net. Me and Will review weird old episodes of TV shows you've probably seen. With no context, we did like Chips from the 5th season. It's a whole thing. Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue was one of the worst things ever.
I have to watch this. Cartoon All-Stars was one of the most scarring moments of my childhood.
We destroy it. Like, Will gets really mad because it tries to tell you that all drugs are equal and all drugs are bad, which leads to kids being like, wait, pot's not bad. Well, heroin must not be, but you're like, it's dumb.
I really, the only question I have before listening to that show, because Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue plays such a pivotal role in my life, is whether or not I want to watch Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue before I listen to your analysis or afterward. And I feel like I need to carve out the time to rewatch. What is it, a half hour or
our show? It's like a movie length every. Oh no, the Cartoon All-Stars is half hour.
Half hour, right?
Ninja Turtles in a fever dream. It's a whole thing.
Oh no, dude! Like there are still, and I don't know whether or not it's my brain making the moments to be bigger than they were, but there are scarring memories for me about that because I watched it when I was like the promise of that was like it was basically the Batman versus Superman or Civil War of its time. If you were growing up at a certain age, all your favorite cartoon characters, regardless of which universe they belonged in, were in one thing. And yet it was this bizarre, like, propaganda film that was also had this, like, hideous, like, horror imagery for the drug usage and everything.
Well, and by the way, that's bizarre. The weirdest thing. I don't understand. Like there's anti-drug billboards in Texas, and all it does is it just shows a joint, and in big letters it says marijuana, and then in tiny fonts below it says don't even do it.
But then you're just like marijuana.
All of this anti-drug stuff. It's like, look. In order for you to get these references, you're going to have to learn a lot about drugs. So buckle in. Let me explain how all these work, what the different highs are like. I mean, it's like think about that. When you would go to school assemblies where somebody's job was to explain, okay, there's hallucinogens that kind of make you all trip this way. There's uppers, there's downers. If somebody does fade out and fall asleep, watch out for choking on your vomit. We were like, and above all else, don't do it. Wink.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so messed up.
All you're hearing in your head is like, awesome, awesome, awesome.
And they may do it because they like to alter consciousness. And
definitely don't mix them up.
Are those?
That'll cause unpredictable, awesome things to happen. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Are those after or before the lawyer in dreads that likes to rock billboards?
Oh, yeah, the David Comey, the lawyer who rocks. Well, So what happens on Cartoon All-Stars? It's all just dark.
Wait, have you never seen Cartoon All-Stars?
Nope. Well, so I can set this up so it's perfect. So the main character in Cartoon All-Stars, the guy struggling through all this, his name is Mikey, which drove me crazy. But if you think it is a canonical prequel to the person you're experiencing now, I'm sure it'll be the best thing you ever watched.
So basically, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is every cartoon that was popular in the era teaming up to save it's a kid who is trying drugs for the first time.
Well, yeah, he smokes pot a couple times and then he ends up buying it. But what's really obvious through Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is that the parents, who are introduced twice, shun the kids and don't listen to them. On both occasions you see them and it's like, oh, okay, shitty parents. We figured it out. We got it, guy. Like it's actually really obvious, but not for what they were trying to do. They're just bad, I guess.
And then it starts off with George and Barbara Bush introing it, right?
Yeah.
Talking about the scourge of marijuana. And whatever.
No, like this was, no. So that's the beginning is that like, hey, listen, no, this is a very important propaganda film for which you need to watch. The president has ordered, only the president could get all of your favorite cartoons in one show. And now here's what we're going to do with it. Not tell you a raging adventure that will make you excited about everything, but no, to napalm your brain so we can make sure that it attaches to the right elements to terrify you as a child about anything to do with drugs.
It's so important that we had to bring all of them together to talk about this substance that most certainly will not be legal in about 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you want to listen to the most epic rants of all, because we do closing arguments at the end, because we have to accuse it of crimes and we do like a whole courtroom proceeding. It's pretty funny. Will's closing argument from this last episode is like 9 minutes long, and it is the most epic. Like, it gave me chills while he was doing it because he got so mad, and he just systematically destroys every argument put forth in this. And like right after it happens, at the end of the episode, I'm like, we just had our Mr. Smith goes to Washington moment. That was it. We did it. We got it.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you. I saw, and I forget which social media outlet it was, but the like just you playing the clip of Will Wheaton screaming something about supply side economics, and I'm like, listen, man. I know I gotta listen to this show now. This is a show that I gotta listen to, and really the only thing is whether or not I rewatch this Cartoon All Stars. But now that Brian hasn't watched it, I kind of feel like, Brian, like me and you just need to watch it and do a commentary track together.
Yep.
And then together we'll listen to the TV crime show, and it can be a fun little 1-2 counterpunch.
Done,
You
and
actually
done.
just sold it because that part, the supply side economics, we're both, because I do a lot of production work, audio production on it, and I made us into chipmunks by pitch shifting us up like big time. So Will, like we're like super high chipmunks at the time, and he's like, what you try to talk about is supply side economics, and it's funny. You should just go listen to it. It's great.
All right, so where can people find everything that you do?
Moviesofmikey.com for Movies of Mikey. Actually, if you guys could watch some episodes, that would make me very, very happy. And tvcrimes.net for my new stuff with Will. That's a podcast. Please subscribe. Check out all that stuff. And then just buy Battleborn on May 3rd when it comes out. That's our new big game. It's on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Just finished our open beta. It's doing great. So check out Battleborn, battleborn.com. You can pre-order there. I think that's good for my plugs. I think we're plugged.
Oh,
hell
yes. Right on, man.
Brian, anything else?
No, dude. I think we learned a lot. I think we learned that my detective skills can't be beat.
Nope.
I think we learned what the best worst neighborhood in the world is.
I think we learned that we should never forget Mike McCluskey.
I believe it. We should also never forget the injustice that poor Mikey Face had to deal with those dastardly bastards at YouTube.
We should also never forget that a unicorn's asshole is shockingly oval.
maybe it's Goatsy the unicorn.
Yeah. But most importantly, we should never forget that we will see you next Tuesday.
Die in a fire, people.
Oh, Justin Robert Young, every time you go, I get so sad that I wanna drink a warm glass of Drano. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.